Hello again everyone, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another speed build video in The Sims 4. I hope you're all having the most amazing day ever so far, and thank you so much for joining me here today, and thank you again to the EA Creator Network for giving me access to the Sims 4 Castle Estate kit. This kit allowed me to bring this castle family house thing to you all, so thank you so much again. I cannot even begin to explain how excited I am to share this with you all. This is my very first attempt at building a castle in The Sims. I've never tried it before, but this kit sparked some sort of inspiration in me, and I was like, I need to try and build a castle. I've just got to do it. If I can't do it, I won't do it. But I actually whipped this up today. I've been kind of down in the dumps the last week because I came down with a cold really suddenly, and it's kind of disappeared as quickly as it came on, so I'm really thankful for that. I'm still not feeling 100%, but I had to share this with you, so I'm just so excited to be here. How are you all? I feel like it's been so long. It's actually not even been a week. But how are you all? I've missed you all so much, and I'm just so excited to be able to sit down and share this with you all. And whilst I have it on my mind, I do have a special little announcement to make. I'm so excited to announce that I am now part of the EA Support a Creator program. Use code RachelPedd on thesims.com or the EA app to directly support me and my content at no extra cost to you. Using my code is absolutely not expected, but is very much appreciated. Thank you so much for your support. Alright, so back to the build. Like I was saying, I definitely wanted this to be more of like a functional family home castle sort of hybrid house. And I was actually working from a reference image which I will pop on screen for you now. I think this has become quite a popular reference image for various simmers to use from what I've seen, and I've just absolutely adored seeing all of these amazing, incredible, beautiful castles all over social media, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and I was like, I've just got to give this a go myself. So I was just scrolling on Pinterest and I found this reference image, and I was like, that's such a beautiful sort of mixture between it being a castle, but also it could very easily just be a home as well. So when we get onto the interior, I will be talking a little bit more about sort of where my mind was and the inspiration for the interior, but I definitely wanted it to be more of like so the family's moved in and they're definitely wanting to live here. They're not wanting to do anything else other than live here, and they're perhaps in the middle of like renovations as such. I'm going to use that term quite loosely because they are currently living here, and they're just sort of slowly developing the castle. They're trying to maintain the design of it, but they're also trying to sort of make it their own. That was kind of my sort of idea for this castle. I don't even know what to call this at this point. I'm just so thrilled that I even managed to get the exterior right, because honestly, building castles it's definitely a task in itself, and it's very daunting when you first start off and you're like, there's no way I can build a castle. There's just no way. If I can do it, anybody can do it, honestly, because this is me just like, I've never done this before. I've never done anything like this before, but honestly, the Castle Estate kit helped me so much achieve the look of this. I was initially thinking that I could just do like a base game and Castle Estate only build, but because this was my first attempt, I didn't want to overwhelm myself too much, so perhaps that's something that I can do in the near future. But yeah, I just wanted to try and like take a little bit of pressure off myself, because I already had enough pressure going on just going into this. But yeah, we are currently working on the exterior here, as I was trying to say before going off on a tangent. And what I really loved about this build is that, as you can see here, just on the left, we've got like more of like the like normal looking side. So perhaps like the family's come in and sort of extended it, kind of, and added like more of like a house situation just on the left there. I don't know. I don't know much about castles at all, but I think I want to try and build some more. I'd love to do like a castle wedding venue. I'd like to do like a castle hotel sort of situation. I'd love to do like a castle that has like different apartment units in it as well. I think that might be kind of cool. My brain's going at 150 miles an hour thinking of all the possibilities with this kit, but I'm so excited. And I know that the goth kit came out at the same time. I haven't actually had chance to look at that. That's a create a sim kit, so it's less of sort of what I tend to do with The Sims, but I'd definitely like to check it out because I think I've been reading slightly mixed reviews on the kit, so I'd just like to have a look and just see what sort of I think of it. But yeah, I'm really happy with the castle kit. So if you're in the market for one, then absolutely I would recommend it. But if not, you're not really losing out on anything, if that makes sense. If castles aren't really your thing, it's quite a niche sort of theme. That's the word I'm looking for. It's quite a niche theme, and I know that we voted for these, I think it was last year. It was like a community vote, and I would love to see more of that. And I know they've done it with kits, but I'd actually really like to see it with like stuff packs, game packs, and expansion packs too. And it was really funny as well because I was scrolling through I still call it Twitter. I know it's called X now, but I still call it Twitter. I was scrolling through Twitter this morning, and I've been seeing a lot of people sort of speculating that there's like a fairies pack coming out this year, and I would honestly love that so much, just because I'd absolutely love to build houses for fairies. And if the pack were to come with a new world as well, I'd just be so obsessed. I'd just be building like little fairy castles for like a good solid few weeks on the channel. But yeah, anyway, you can see that the castle, let's get back to what we're actually here to talk about. You can see that the castle is taking shape here, and honestly I was thinking, okay, well, this look could definitely be achieved without the kit, but the kit was just so helpful for a beginner castle builder like me, just to sort of add that extra flair, the extra detailing. I was so impressed with the wallpaper swatches in particular, and I didn't think that I was going to be blown away by that as such, but I was just like, oh my gosh, the swatches are so detailed and so beautiful, and I just want to experiment a little bit more with them, because obviously whilst this is my first castle, I'd like to sort of do something maybe slightly larger, on a larger scale next time, like perhaps, like I was saying, like a hotel or something, because I think that would take the pressure off trying to work out floor plans as well, which is something we will be talking about when we get onto the interior again, because the floor plan for this castle I'm just going to be honest, it's a little bit janky, it's a little bit awkward, but I figured actually that kind of adds to the charm of the build. I've seen many TV shows where they sort of, people will buy an old decrepit castle and they'll turn it into a home, and what I've noticed is that the floor plans don't always make the most sense. I'm so sorry, I've still got kind of a foggy brain from the cold, so you'll have to bear with me. But yeah, and I just figured, okay, I'll get inside, and actually the floor planning, I'm just gonna sort of take the pressure off myself, because actually I think it adds to the charm if the floor plan's a little bit awkward, a little bit strange, because you've got to remember, castles, especially older castles like this, or what I imagine this is, they're not going to be floor planned or laid out like the houses that we would see around now, you know. So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to get in there and I'm just going to have fun with it. And the minute that I just sort of like took the pressure off myself and had that fun was when it all started to come together. So I felt, I can feel myself saying that more and more in these voiceovers, and I think I just need to do that in general, not just with builds that I'm not comfortable with, such as this, but with just my builds in general, and just try and take the pressure off and just have fun. Because when I press record to do footage for a speed build or a real-time build, which I've been doing more and more of on the channel, which I absolutely adore, I do put this pressure on myself, and I just think, well, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, that's all right. But I don't think I'm alone with the pressure thing, because I think so many people do that. And I think people who don't even like share their content online in the form of videos or screenshots, you sort of put that pressure on yourself, and you think, well, if it looks bad, then I'm going to feel bad. But actually, you know, it's part of the process. Not everything that you create is going to be good on the first try, but you've got to just keep at it. And like, I've built things that seem super simple at the time, but it might have taken me 5 or 6 attempts to get to that point. This was a fluke. I don't know what happened with this in truth. And it is the truth that this is my first attempt, because I've said on the channel many times, this is my 10th attempt at this and I just couldn't get it to work. But this was honestly my first attempt. This was a complete fluke. I'd just like to say that, but it's all part of the process is what I'm trying to say in a very long-winded manner. Anyway, this is the interior. As you can see, so the floor plan, the shape of the build, whilst it looks incredible on the outside, definitely brought some challenges when it was trying to figure out the floor plan and where things were going to go. So we've got like a big grand entrance. We've got a slightly smaller sort of living space just over to the right here. We've got like a huge kitchen, and I do use these counters from the Realm of Magic pack, but I do end up changing out the swatch from the black and white to the green. Because what I was finding when I was doing this build is I was gravitating towards like more grey white swatches and things, and it was just making things look really washed out and like not like it had a lot of character. So what I ended up doing is I was tweaking some like certain things off camera. You can see there I've added some like slight more, I can't talk today. I'm so sorry. I've added some more landscaping to the build than what you were seeing us do. And then yeah, I was just changing some of the color swatches, just trying to make things a little bit more warm and trying to get away from, okay, well, it doesn't need to match, it's a castle, it can have whatever you want in it. So my sort of idea for this was there's definitely a family living here, or at least a couple, and they're planning on renovating it, and they're kind of just working out what they want to do. So I would say this is like mid-renovation build is probably how I would describe this, which I've been having a lot of fun doing, actually, because I've been doing a fair bit of that on the channel recently. I did like a just moving in family house, and I've also done recently 2 houses on one lot where I partially furnished both houses just to allow you guys to sort of come in and put your own stamp on it, which I really enjoyed. So I'm trying kind of new things on the channel this year, which are turning out really well, actually, so far. So I'm having a great time. You guys seem to be enjoying it. So I think I'm just going to continue on this path really and just sort of see where it takes me. But yeah, anyway, I digress. The kitchen is coming together really well. You'll just sort of see me as I'm coming across certain items in the catalogue. I'm sort of placing them in other areas of the castle just to sort of remind myself, okay, well, I really want to use that. I'd like to use that there. And yeah, I was definitely trying to sort of use a mixture of like traditional pieces along with more sort of like, I wouldn't say modern pieces, but pieces that we might be more familiar with, you know. So I think I pretty much achieved that. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments down below. Obviously, if you have different ideas for this castle, then please absolutely make any changes that you require. You know this by now. You are more than welcome to make any changes to any of my builds and just make them your own. And I love seeing it because I see people tagging me and sending me screenshots and things, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, that looks incredible. Why did I not think of that? So I absolutely love just sort of seeing how you all put your own stamp on my builds. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, we don't spend too much longer on the kitchen, I don't think, although I'm just looking at the footage here. And I think it's probably the one area of the house that we spent the longest on. And not to worry as well, by the way, because I know that some people are already thinking, well, how do you access that room there? I very quickly realised that, and I end up putting like some form of archway so that you Sims sort of have 2 access points to the stairwell, which again doesn't really make much sense, but I just thought with it being a castle, I was like, I kind of like that there's 2 access points. And then this huge area here is actually the big entryway and the grand hall, if you will. And I just threw a few bits down in here. I was still trying to get my head around like which items I can use, and I put again so much pressure on myself when I got into the interior, because I thought I want to furnish this, because I actually put a question up on Twitter earlier, and I was like, okay, so for seasoned and expertise castle builders, do you lay out the floor plan and do you furnish the builds? And whilst I was referring to castles which are way more grand than this, like this is actually quite small in terms of a castle, which I actually think is kind of refreshing and really good for gameplay. But I was like, do you lay out the floor plan? Do you do any decorating? Because I cannot imagine like how difficult it is to floor plan and furnish a castle, because it's such a niche kind of thing. And I think there's very few items that we actually have that go with a castle. I initially thought, and then as I was going through the catalogue and as I was working through the castle, I was thinking, actually I was wrong. I think there's a lot of items that you can use in a castle. And whilst I would have loved to have seen from the castle estate kit, I would have loved to have seen more buy objects, such as like rugs, maybe lights and different types of furniture. They definitely were more concentrated on the exterior stuff, which is absolutely fine, because actually I realized that we do have, from various different packs, we do have a wide variety of items that do fit in with that castle theme. Does that make sense? I'm hoping it does. But yeah, anyway, this is the living area here. As you can see, I also did some like tweaking off camera, as I was referring to earlier, such as changing swatches and adding just more detailing and things like that, because I was sort of going through it and thinking, oh, well, that's really nice. And then I'm thinking, oh, it's getting a little bit repetitive now. And I was so indecisive. So I've put in the footage that I feel is relevant to this video. So I hope you don't mind on that. Mind on that? What does that even mean? I don't feel like I'm speaking English today. This is not going well. Anyway, I'm not going to re-record because I can already feel my voice starting to go. So the cold is still slightly there. It's still sort of like a dark cloud over my head. I'm hoping in the next few days that I can just completely get over it and just get back to like my normal, I'd say, schedule. I don't really have a schedule for the channel at the moment. But yeah, anyway, so this is one of the bedrooms. I decided, I don't know how realistic this is. I don't know much about castle floor plans, but I decided to keep this entire space open. And this is what I would consider the main bedroom. And it just has access to this beautiful, I wouldn't call it a balcony. I don't know what I would call that. It has access to that. There's a bathroom just off of it with a toilet and a sink. And then on the upper floor, there's a further bedroom with like a full bathroom. That was my idea for this. So again, a little bit awkward, a little bit strange, but I think it kind of fits in with that castle vibe. So the bedroom came together really, really quickly. And then the bathroom was whipped up very quickly as well. There's not too much going on here, to be honest. But that bed from the Realm of Magic pack, I was like, oh, chef's kiss. It looks so beautiful, and I just had to use it. And like when I dropped down to take a screenshot, you could just see like the outside and it looked so dreamy. So yeah, this is the final bedroom, and then we just work on the bathroom. But that is pretty much it for this build. So I really hope you enjoyed this. If you'd like to download this house from the gallery right now, my origin ID is RachelPedd. Tray files, as always, are linked down in the description box below. You can get them for free from Sim File Share. But thank you so much everyone for joining me here today. I can't wait to hear what you think. You all take care, and I will see you again next time. Bye.